If you're stuck in immigration court with a case that's been dragging on for years, what I'm about to tell you could change everything. Most people think they just have to wait for their court date and hope for the best. But that's exactly what bad lawyers want you to think. Right now, over 3.7 million cases are pending with the immigration court, and the average wait time is about 4 years. But I've seen cases sitting there since 2014. And what should make you furious is most lawyers collect monthly payments while doing nothing to speed up these cases. But what most people don't know is there are legal strategies that can dramatically speed up your case and get your green card years faster than just waiting for your court date. My name is Jayson DiMaria, and I've been fighting immigration cases for over 20 years. I've seen people stuck in immigration court for 5, 7, and even 10 years with lawyers who don't do anything to move these cases forward. These lawyers collect their fees and then they disappear, leaving families in limbo for decades. Which is why in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you the 5 warning signs your lawyer is failing you and the exact strategies that you can get your case resolved in months instead of years. Now, you're probably sitting on a case for years, just like one of my clients, Peter. He came to my office after being stuck in the immigration court for 8 years. His previous lawyer had filed his asylum case and they did nothing for 8 years. Peter was living in fear, unable to travel, unable to plan his life, because he was just sitting there. When I reviewed his file, I discovered that his lawyer had never filed several critical motions that could have resolved his case years earlier. He was even eligible for an application for relief called cancellation of removal that the lawyer never filed. Within 6 months of taking over his case, I was able to get his case approved and he started the process for his green card. Peter's case should have been resolved in 2 years, not 10. The only reason it took so long was because his lawyer was incompetent and lazy. But Peter's story isn't unique. I see this every single week. People have been stuck in the system for years because their lawyer isn't doing their job. The biggest mistake lawyers make is filing incomplete applications and then doing nothing to fix them. They file your asylum case or your cancellation of removal application, but they don't include all the evidence you need. Then when the government requests more evidence, they ignore it or file inadequate responses. This creates what's called a deficient case, a case that can't be approved because it's missing critical evidence. These cases just sit in court for years while nothing happens. I took over a case where the previous lawyer had filed for cancellation of removal, but never included the medical evidence showing the client's United States citizen daughter had a serious medical condition. Without that evidence, the case couldn't be approved. It had been sitting in court for 6 years. I gathered the missing medical evidence, filed a supplemental brief, and got the case approved within 4 months. So how do you know if your lawyer is actually working on your case or if they're just collecting fees while your case sits there doing nothing? There are 5 warning signs that your case is being mishandled. The first warning sign that your lawyer isn't doing their job is if you haven't heard from them in over 6 months. A good immigration lawyer should be in regular contact with you, updating you on your case and working on your applications. If your lawyer only contacts you when they want money or when they have a court date, that's a red flag. Immigration cases require ongoing work, gathering evidence, filing motions, responding to government requests, preparing for hearings. The key to speeding up immigration cases is being proactive, not reactive. We don't just wait for the court to schedule a hearing. We file motions to expedite. We request priority scheduling for cases involving medical emergencies or family hardship. We push the court to move faster. For example, if you have a U.S. citizen child with a serious medical condition, we could file a motion to expedite based on these humanitarian reasons. If you're the primary caretaker for an elderly parent, we could request priority scheduling to speed up your case. If country conditions in your home country have deteriorated, we could file for expedited consideration. Most lawyers never file these motions because it requires extra work. They'd rather just let your case sit there for years. But there's an even more powerful strategy that can cut years off your case, and it's something that 90% of lawyers never even attempt. The most powerful tool for speeding up immigration cases is something called administrative closure. This is a complex legal strategy that allows us to remove your case from the court's backlog and file your application directly with USCIS, where it can be processed much faster. Here's how it works. If you're eligible for certain types of relief, like asylum, family petitions, or U visas, we can possibly ask the court to administratively close your case while we file your application with USCIS. USCIS processes these applications much faster than the immigration court. I had a client who had an opportunity for a U visa whose immigration case was pending for 7 years. We were able to get the case closed, and then we filed the U visa with USCIS. He was able to get that U visa approved, and instead of waiting for years to finish his court date, he didn't have to go to court again. This strategy can work for certain family petitions, U visas, VAWA cases, and other cases. But most lawyers don't know how to do this, or they're afraid to do it because it's complicated. But even if administrative closure isn't an option for your case, there are other strategies we can use to speed up your case and get you the relief that you deserve. Another powerful strategy is filing what's called a motion to terminate based on an approved petition or application. If you have an approved family petition, or if you've been approved for a U visa or other relief, we can ask the court to terminate your removal case so you can proceed directly to getting your green card. The key is understanding how different types of immigration relief interact with each other. Most lawyers only know one area of immigration law, so they miss these opportunities to use multiple strategies together. For example, I had a client in removal proceedings whose US citizen son had filed a family petition for him. The previous lawyer never told the court about the family petition. The case sat in court for 5 years while the family petition was approved and ready to proceed. I filed a motion to terminate the removal case based on the approved family petition, and my client was able to get his green card within 6 months instead of waiting years for his court case to be resolved. But the important thing is to understand that none of these strategies work if you wait too long to implement them. Every month your case sits there doing nothing is another month you're separated from the life that you deserve. Which is why if you're stuck in immigration court and your lawyer isn't doing anything to move your case forward, don't waste another day. Call my office right now at 973-934-5854. We specialize in taking over stalled immigration cases and getting them resolved quickly. We offer same-day consultations for just $50, and we review your case immediately to see what strategies we can use to speed it up. And the good thing is, if you hire us, that $50 gets applied towards your case. So call now, 973-934-5854 to get your case resolved as fast as possible. If you're still watching this video, it means you're serious about getting your immigration case resolved. But taking action requires more than just wanting change. It requires understanding exactly what steps to take and when to take them. The first step is getting a complete case evaluation from an experienced immigration attorney. This isn't just about reviewing your paperwork. It's about analyzing every possible avenue for relief and identifying the fastest path to resolution. When we evaluate a case, we look at everything: your family relationships, your time in the United States, any crimes or immigration violations, changes in country conditions, new laws that may affect your case, new laws that might apply to your case. We're looking for opportunities that your current lawyer missed. Most lawyers only look at the obvious forms of relief. We look at everything. Maybe you qualify for asylum based on changed country conditions. Maybe you're eligible for a U visa because you were a victim of a crime. Maybe you have a family petition option that you didn't even know about. The key is having someone who knows all areas of immigration law, not just one specialty. That's how we find the creative solutions that other lawyers miss. But finding the right strategy is only half the battle. The other half is executing that strategy properly and aggressively pursuing every opportunity to speed up your case. Once we identify the best strategy for your case, we implement it immediately and aggressively. We don't wait for the next court date. We don't wait for the government to respond. We take action now. If we're filing for administrative closure, we prepare a comprehensive motion with all supporting evidence. If we're requesting expedited processing, we document every reason why your case deserves priority. If we're filing new applications, we make sure they're complete and compelling from day one. The difference between a case that gets resolved quickly and a case that drags on for years is the quality and aggressiveness of the legal representation. We treat every case like it's urgent because to you and your family, it is urgent. I had a client whose case had been pending for 9 years. Within 3 months of taking over this case, we have filed 3 different motions, submitted new evidence, and gotten his case scheduled for a trial. He got his green card 6 months later. But even with the best legal strategy, there's still one factor that determines whether your case gets resolved quickly or continues to drag on for years. The most important factor in resolving immigration cases quickly is having a lawyer who actually cares about your case and is willing to fight for you. Too many lawyers treat immigration cases like an assembly line. They file the paperwork and then they forget you. We treat every case like it's the most important case we've ever handled. We stay in regular contact with our clients. We update them on every development. We fight for them at every stage of the process. When the government tries to delay our case, we object. When the court tries to postpone your hearing, we request expedited hearing. When there are opportunities to resolve your case faster, we pursue them aggressively. Your immigration case isn't just a legal matter. It's your life. It's your family's future, your dreams. You deserve a lawyer who understands that and fights accordingly. If you're stuck in immigration court, you have a choice. You could continue waiting and hoping that somehow your case will resolve itself, or you can take action and get the aggressive legal representation you deserve. I've been fighting these immigration cases for 20 years, and I've seen what happens when people wait too long to get proper legal help. I've also seen what happens when people take action and get the right lawyer fighting for them. The difference is night and day. People who wait continue to suffer in limbo for years. People who take action get their cases resolved and move on with their lives. But now that you know how your case can speed up, there's a major legal development that just happened with Trump's massive deportation plan that could completely change what ICE can and can't do. And it can be the reason you get deported or you get to stay with your family in the United States. So check out this video where I break down exactly what this court ruling means for you and your family's future and safety in the United States. Because understanding these changes could be the difference between staying protected and being caught off guard when ICE comes to your neighborhood.